They say your father did not kill cow for his own father. So this one you brought is for the one your father should have done for his own father. So now go and bring your father's own. But you may laugh at that, but that's how the community survives. That's how, in my own community, that's how our community, we have roads, we have light, we have water system, all built by community. We have public toilets, we have public water system, all built by our community. The age grade system in my place is so powerful. If you escape it, it's because you are speaking in tongues and you're a Christian. But now they now say, let me tell you, even if you are speaking in tongues and you're a Christian, we not say you should drink our wine, drink our what we are drinking, but give us what will help us build road. So you have seen that community works in school, in your workplace. Communities works in different places. They have pressure groups who try to pressure people to do the right thing. But beyond that, you must know that as a church, we also have a community. So C stands for community, A stands for affection, R stands for responsibility, and then E stands for evangelism. One of the greatest assignments that we have as a church is to be able to drive ourselves to consistently enlarge our community. For today, I'm focusing on the first one, community building, doing life together. Life is people. Please write it down if you understand my English. Life is people. Because see, from the womb to the tomb, you need people. I'm going to say that again. From the womb to the tomb, you need people. Don't do life alone. Don't subscribe to doing life alone. It may have worked for you to a certain extent, but even though it's working, you are still losing something. There are some people who like to do life alone, and when you ask them, they'll give you different reasons. Before I tell you those reasons that they give, let me read this scripture for you. Judges chapter 18, verse 27 and 28. The New King James Version says, so they took the things Micaiah had made, and the priests who had belonged to them, and went to Laish, to a people quiet and secured. They struck them with the edge of the sword, and burned their city with fire. There was no deliverer, because it was far from Sidon, and they had no ties with anyone. These people, their life, they couldn't call for help. They have no ties, they have no alliance, allies, they have no allegiance to anybody. If you read other translations, some will say, can I have other translations? They will say different kinds of, concepts, that these people, no one to help them. These people, nobody to support them. These people, nobody to rescue them when they cried, because they were there. Look at the message. It says, and so these people, the city was quiet and what? Unsuspecting. They massacred the people and burned down their city. So you can be quiet. You're not looking for anybody's trouble. But some people will look for your own trouble. You know, there are some nations at war. They do not look for anybody's trouble. So being in this life alone is trouble. I don't know if you understand my English. I'm not praying for trouble. Bible already says that the life of a man here is short and full of many what? Troubles. Once you are born into trouble. And this is not a bad prayer. This is not preaching negative. It's that there is problem. Can't you see people driving? Have you not been driving your car gently on your own? Someone come and hit you from somewhere. There are nations that are on their own. And that president will be in his own nation. And just make up, I want to annex this one to myself. And then he will look for trouble to say, this is what you did, this is what you did. Say, how did I do? Your pipe was 72 kilometers northern mile, close to my border. If you don't move it, I'll move you. Before you can say, he starts shooting, you say, what have I done? I'm even trying to move it, so don't move again now. The time I gave it to move has passed. All that thing is grammar. He wanted to collect what you have. So you need to know, since life is warfare, you cannot outgrow warfare. Just learn how to fight. And I'm telling you that one of the ways to fight is to fight through a community. Because there are some times you can't fight alone. You need a community that can help you fight. If you're in church and you don't understand what I'm talking about, lift up your hand and say, I believe in communities. I am not doing life alone. Look at somebody and smile and say, don't do life alone. He said these people, they had no friends. Everything that they were doing, they thought that they were secured. The Bible said they were secured. There is no security when you are alone. In their security, they were secure. Some even say they were peaceful. But yet, they were massacred. As a church, we want you to be a part of a community. As a church, we have a community platform. We call it the Wise Jewels and the Wise Men. And it's an affinity group. It's groups that are designed to help men to deal with their specific men issues, and the one for women to deal with their specific women matters. And we want you to be a part of that. We don't want you to be in church and you miss out on the benefits of a community. We literally want to gift you relationships you can leverage on and make your life better. We are trying to make sure that your life never remains the same and that your life does not produce anything less than God's best for you. So, when we are teaching this, we want application. We want you to subscribe to it. We want you to look forward to it. By next Sunday, we are going to, between now and Sunday, we're going to call some of you. We're going to remind you who is your leader. Some of you are in a group. You don't know your leader because you're not participating very well. Some of you in a group where you are, they post something. You don't talk. You're behaving like forming big person, forming busy. When your matter arises, they will also form busy for you. And so you are not responding to anybody. They will call you, say, I'm busy, no problem. And you need to know as a church is growing, if you don't understand community building, you can be in church and you not enjoy the church. And those are the people that will ultimately complain. This church, they're not caring. This church, they don't love anybody. I was sick, nobody visited me. You, how many people have you visited? Are you in a group where they're talking about somebody that they need to contribute something for? If you're not in those groups, you are not going to be able to function. Church cannot function in one big bulk. We can't function in one big bulk. I don't know how many hundreds of people in this church right now. I don't know the names of everybody. No, my wife and I, we traveled a lot sometimes. We went to Owerri. As we finished teaching Owerri, two or three ladies came and said, I'm your church member. I said, me, church member. Church member. He said, I'm in this room now. I'm in wise expression. The moment he said wise, I said, they know us home. I said, are you serious? What's your name? He called. He said, I said, I'm in facility. I said, these people, they are correct people. Now you see, I'm meeting them outside. I don't know who they are. But there was a time I know everybody in church. I know the house of everybody. I used to call it every Tuesday. Every Tuesday, pastor's call is coming through. How many were we? 36. So what we try to do is to reproduce those 36 in small ways. So now if we give you 10 persons to become in your community, 10 of you can call yourselves. Church, stop growing where the pastor is the only caregiver. Because after a while, the pastor cannot give that care to everybody. The way these people are shaking their head, they understand more, but these people are clapping more. Who understands me? This one or this one? Because there are people that they insist is pastor that must do everything for them. Pastor must do the baptism for them. Pastor must lay hands on them. Pastor must do naming for them. Pastor must do dedication for them. Pastor must do burial for them. Even bury their father that's not a church member. Pastor must do. Now, you have to realize after a while, pastor can't do all. And it's not a function of feeling big. It's not a function of being proud. It's a function that pastor can't function at that capacity again. Is it a bad thing for pastor to say he's not a superhuman being? So you have to know that this is actually designed to help us. It's designed to bring out the best. And it's designed for us to enjoy the community that God has put you. So I'm going to go with you sharing 3 things that make people not to want to join a community. One, they say, I'm okay alone. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm self-contained. I rent my self-contained house. I have my kitchen. I do my stuff. I eat my food, I wash my plate, I watch my Netflix, I sleep, I wake up, I go to work. That can survive and suffice for a while. After a while, it will not work again. And that's why the people that said they are self-made, I tried to explain the first service, there's really nothing like self-made person in real terms. Because somebody contributed to who you become today. If you want to be a self-made person, that means you have to impregnate yourself. You produce the sperm, produce the ovary, pregnant yourself, carry yourself for 9 months, give birth to yourself, nurse yourself, buy pampers for yourself, breastfeed yourself. You see, that's not a good concept. All of us has been supported by people. The idea is that at the time that you were born, can you imagine? God gave birth to all of us in a community called family. And he wants us to live through life still in a community. So if you are not playing a role in a community, you are not functioning in a community, if you don't think, you are all through your life.